I was gonna have the camera flipped around, and then I realized it would record the back, so it would just record my audio. But I keep seeing myself move in the corner over here, so I'm gonna keep looking over here, looking at myself and myself. Hi. It's been a while. If you're watching this and you're one of my subscribers for when I made AMVs for Creepypasta and Hitalia, hello. Thank you for watching this video. What's it like being queer? I never said thank you guys for watching those. Honestly, it was great. It fueled my creativity. I loved that you guys still liked them, and honestly, up until I was in college, some of you guys were still subscribing and watching them. I have them taken down now because I just don't want them up anymore. It's like a physical reminder of my middle school years. So I took all of them down, except the Markiplier video, because I thought that one, I still am proud of that one, even if it's bad. I'm proud of it. This video, I'm gonna say this video is dumb, and it's just an anger rant about the character designs, and in an effort to make the characters distinct enough for people to remember, they have thrown logic out the window. It doesn't make any sense, and I am mad, and so here I am to rant about it. And I am not a marine biologist. I don't know that much about the history. All I know is what I've seen and what I know, and talking to my friend for about maybe 5 hours about this fucking same issue. So, let's get to it, you know? What I want to discuss today is the absolute inaccuracies within the Zora species within Breath of the Wild, focusing on their genetics and their physical appearances, which tie together. I have so many thoughts about the Zoras, and I've ranted to my friends about it so much ever since playing Breath of the Wild because I have several questions, many of which we will look into in this video. So, let's use this expensive-ass degree that I got to talk about the Zoras in Breath of the Wild. The Zoras have evolved a lot over the years in the Zelda series. They first appeared in the Ocarina of Time, though they have been in games as enemies before this. Their look in the Ocarina of Time has held true throughout many of the games, except for Wind Waker, where apparently they don't exist. They used to exist, but then they became the Ritos because of a flood. That doesn't make sense. As I've seen in my research, people online were saying that the reason that they became the Ritos was probably because Nintendo didn't want the Zora there for gameplay reasons. And so Zoras became Ritos, even though they're amphibians and would not mind the water. I feel like they'd likely go to the water instead of the land, but I digress. This little bump in the Zora history will show a consistent pattern that we see in Nintendo where their game and their story don't always make sense. But that's okay. It's fake. It doesn't need to make sense. It's a fake game. Now let's start out with our favorite boy and the best prince ever, Prince Sidon. Sidon's design is actually really funny in the fact that they just made a Zora and then they just slapped a hammerhead shark on top of it. His design's very unique, and we love him. We love him for that. He is also so fucking tall. He has to be like 11 feet tall, at least. When researching his official height, I saw that people said he was about 6'9", which, no, he's not. He's not 6'9". I don't care what Nintendo fucking says. You can't say that he's 6'9". If you put Link next to Sidon, Link is at least a little under half of his height, which would make Link around 3 feet, like 3 feet 5 inches, 3.5 feet tall. He's not that fucking short. Neither of them are that short. That doesn't make sense. Since that's not true, we can find Sidon's height based on Link's height, which is how I did it. And I took the approximate height given to us by people doing math and comparing him to the world like fucking nerds and mathematicians. The estimated height is about 5'7", which in my opinion, that boy's like 5'5" at max. He's he is our short king. If Link is 5'7", Sidon would have to be around 11 feet tall. If you double that, that's like around 11 to 12 feet. And this has also been backed up by people doing more math and comparing Sidon to the world around him to get the 11 feet number as well. But Nintendo hasn't confirmed anything as far as I've seen. People just know that the average max height of Zora's is 6'9". All we know is that canonically, Sidon is taller than all the other Zoras, minus his father. The last important note is that Sidon is not proportional if you compare him to humans or Hylians. His hips are lower and his legs are smaller as a result. And if we apply real life to this, then we can assume that this is because legs may not be as useful for swimming versus a long body and a tail. Which, I'm not a marine biologist. I refuse to look into if this is true. This is what I'm assuming. This is what I'm assuming is best. And we can also see that other Zoras are not proportional. Once again, using King Dorephan as an example. Or we have a random Zora. They're not proportional. They're not meant to be proportional. Remember this. They're not proportional. Knowing all of that about Sidon and about the Zora, we can now turn our attention to Mipha, the star of the show right now. Her character design poses so many questions about the Zora and about her and why her design was this way. To start, we know that she is based off of a dolphin. That is canon. One thing that is strange is that she does not have a head fin, even though dolphins have a head fin, and her brother has a head fin. So why does Mipha not have a head fin? I mean, Sidon's design, as established, is just taking a hammerhead shark and just gluing it on top of the body of a Zora. But Mipha's also distinctly a dolphin, so she should have a head fin. Can't really tell if King Dorephan has a head fin as well, but he's based off of a whale, so it would make sense if he didn't. So genetically, if her father doesn't have one, it would make sense that she also does not have one. Maybe Sidon is the weird one. Mipha is also incredibly short. If you compare her to any other Zora besides the children, she's like so short. She is 5 feet tall. Canonically, she is 5 feet tall. The minimum height for Zoras is 5'8". It's like the estimated minimum height for Zoras. So why would she be so short? One explanation to this is the fact that Mipha did die really young, especially on Zora terms. Like, she died at 55 years old, and that was at the start of Breath of the Wild. But this alone brings up more questions about the Zora's series. She dies at 55 years old fighting the Calamity. But we learn that Sidon is 35 years old when she dies. And he's like a child. Not a toddler, but a little older. And mentally, Sidon is around 20 years old, 20 to 21 years old. So that poses the question, how fast do the Zora age mentally? When do they reach young adulthood? Because if we look at Sidon, it seems to be around 100 years old. When you talk to the first two Zoras that you meet when you come into the domain, Ravon and Dunma, the father-daughter pair, you learn that Dunma is not even 100 years old yet. And I don't think she's allowed to be in the army either. She's not allowed to be a guard. You know that from talking to Ravon and him talking a little too much before she silences him and tells him that they're still on duty and he shouldn't be talking this much. So I'm editing the video right now and I cannot find like a conversation where Dunma, I don't know how to say her name, and Riften, realized I said his name wrong, where she says she shouldn't be in the guard. She definitely did scold him for talking while they were on duty, but I can't find anywhere where they say that her age can't be known. I don't know where I got that, so I can't find proof that that's true, and I don't feel like restarting my Zelda game. So we know she's under 100 years old. I showed that clip, but I can't find proof that she's not allowed to be in the domain. But Link still met Riften when he was 30 years old, when Riften was 30 years old, and now he's 130 and has a daughter. So, my question still stands. So, if we can assume you can't join the Guard until you're 100 years old, Mipha was going to propose to Link when she was 55 years old, before she died. Obviously, you know this when you get the Zora armor from Sidon and the king. So, are they fully aged by 55? Is the 20 years between 35 and 55 like the most harrowing time, and then you become an adult, and then you just spend the next hundreds of fucking years, actually, just aging slowly, being an adult, and then you just die? Like, what? What does that mean? Where's the line? So, Mipha's short. She doesn't have a head fin. And these can be attributed to genetics, but it doesn't really make sense. But one factor that puts Mipha standing out from the other Zoras is the fact that she is proportional on human terms. You can see that Mipha her hips are taller, and that it seems like her legs are proportional to her torso, similar to that of a Hylian. If you compare her to any other Zora, her brother, her father, a random Zora off of the street, you could see that their hips are lower, but Mipha's are in the middle of the height, similar to a human, how most of us are. She should not be that proportional. It's weird on what we've already established for the Zora. And I know that in real life, everybody's bodies grow different. There is no normal. And that if Mipha were a person, this could just be chalked up to like genetic differences. But I do not think that creating Mipha, that Nintendo was really going for body positivity and spreading a message. I do not think that was their goal. Why is she so different? What was their goal? Well, I believe that it was because she was supposed to be Link's romantic interest before the game starts. And God forbid a woman be taller than the protagonist. It's illegal. It is not allowed to happen. This isn't that wild of an assumption either, because Tears of the Kingdom brings us Yana, who we had never met before, but suddenly Sidon is in love with her, they're engaged, they're gonna get married, and she's super supportive of him. Who is this woman? Stealing my husband, Her introduction can be chalked up to the fact that Nintendo saw that people were shipping Sidon and Link, and they didn't like it. So if Yana exists as this person to try to break up Link and Sidon being together, then I can fully believe that Mipha's design was made knowing that she was going to be a past possible romantic interest for Link. If we believe Link is 5'7", maybe even 5'5", like I had canon, then it makes sense that she would be shorter. She'd be 5 feet tall. Because it still seems that a lot of people don't like it when a woman is taller than a man that she is going to date. And the fact that she's more proportional can also be chalked up to the fact they're trying to make her look more like a Hylian, or perhaps more normal. So for this complete attempt to make her more suitable to Link, Mipha's design doesn't make any sense, and it further confuses the timeline of Zora aging and how they grow. In the end, her design doesn't matter, because Link is gay. You can take that headcanon from my cold dead hands. Breath of the Wild Link is gay, and Sidon is gay, and they're gay for each other, and they're going to get married. And from what I can see in the fandom, Yana is also going to be their supportive lesbian friend. So, suck it, Nintendo. That's basically it. That was really my whole video. I've basically condensed down hours of me ranting to my friends and us bouncing ideas off of each other down into this video. I hope it was entertaining for you guys. This is my first video actually trying to make jokes and stuff, and I did have a script, which is shocking. But I hope it was enjoyable. It was a little fun to make. I do like talking about this, and I do like pointing out to people that Mipha's design doesn't make any sense when you look at how the Zora are. But, you know, it's not like a hill I'll die on. Like, I don't care. Mipha's a pretty cool character, but yeah, I think they did her dirty. She definitely should have been 6'2", and looks like a Zora instead of a Hylian looking Zora. Unless their mom is a Hylian. That's a different concept. Is she so short because her mom is a Hylian? That'd be kind of funny. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm not gonna post any socials because I don't know if I'm ever going to make another video. If you want another video, then maybe I'll do another. Maybe I'll make a whole video on why Jasper from Fable 3 is the best character ever, and you just get to listen to me rant about Jasper and Walter. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for subscribing, whether you subscribed when I was 13 or you subscribe now. And I hope you have a great day or night. See ya. I gotta stop fidgeting. Oh my god.